Hello everyone, my name is Kobe Hunter, and if you are a student looking for the best credit card for you, well, you've come to the right place. Today I'm going to go through the 5 best credit cards for students and give you their features plus the pros and cons of each. Choosing a credit card can be a stressful experience, so I've done the research to help make your choice easier. By the end of this video, you'll feel confident in your choice of which credit card you should get. If you guys appreciate me combing through the internet and compiling this information for you, consider giving this video a like so the YouTube algorithm knows it's a good video and more kids can learn about which credit cards are best, and hopefully save them some money too. Also, I'll have links to each of these credit cards in the description. In addition, these cards aren't in any particular order of greatness or anything like that, they're just all really great. Number 1, the Discover.at Student Cashback Card. This card is super cool because they offer an unlimited cashback match rewards program. So essentially for every dollar you get in cash back, they will match it with another at the end of the year. So for example, you get $200 cash back over a year, Discover will give you another $200. And the cashback percentages for this card aren't bad either. It's a little complicated because the 5% they give you at various locations changes every 3 months. So for example, from January to March, you'll get 5% at grocery stores and gyms. From April to June, you'll get it at gas stations and Target. From July to September, you'll get 5% at restaurants and PayPal. And from October to December, you'll get 5% at Amazon. So if you want to, you could really maximize your rewards with this card. 5% isn't super common, so the fact that they offer it, even though it's kind of on this weird calendar system, is pretty cool. You'll also get 1% back on everything else throughout the rest of the year. Other pros of this card include that you don't need a credit score to apply, and that there's no annual fee on top of that. On top of this, they have 0% APR for your first 6 months. But that shouldn't be an excuse to get into the habit of not paying your credit card bills, because after 6 months, it jumps up to the 16 to 25% interest rate that's standard on credit cards. So those pros are pretty great, but if you really want to maximize the value of this card, you need to pay attention to where the 5% cashback reward spots are each month. And for a lot of people, this just is a lot of work. Most people don't want to have to think that much about their credit card, but if working the system sounds fun, this might be the perfect card for you. So if you're feeling like the Discover card was just a little too complicated, they offer another card called the Discover.at Student Chrome Card, which has the same dollar for dollar cashback match for your first year, but the difference between this card and the previous card is that you just earn 2% back on gas stations and restaurants and 1% back on everything else. The one con to this is that you'll only get the 2% back for $1,000 a quarter. So if you're spending a ton on restaurants and gas, you might exceed that limit. If that's you, don't worry because I've got another card at the end for the student ballers among us. On to card number 3. This is the Capital One Savor One Student Cash Rewards Credit Card. To go with its long name, it's got 3% back on dining, entertainment, streaming services, and grocery stores, with 1% back on everything else. Also, just so you know, whenever you hear the word grocery stores, don't think Walmart or Target. Most cards don't count these as grocery stores. Back to the rewards. You also get $100 cash back if you spend at least $100 within the first 3 months. This is pretty much like free money because if you're going to get a credit card, you are probably going to be spending $100 on it in the first 3 months. There's also some other cool rewards like referral bonuses if you get your friends to sign up. You can get up to $500 a year from asking your friends to sign up. On top of all these incentives, you can get 8% cash back if you book certain events through the Capital One Entertainment portal. Although this card is one of my favorites on the list with a ton of great rewards, if you don't pay off your balance in full each month, this card will make you pay for it. The lowest APR it has is 18% and the highest is 28%, which is really high even for a credit card. Now, hopefully this will never have to be a con for you because you know how it's super important to pay off your credit card in full each month, but sometimes stuff happens, so it's good to be aware that this interest on this card is pretty high. Now, you might be rolling your eyes at me thinking, Kobe, I don't qualify for any of these cards. I have really bad credit and I don't know what I should do. Well, Discover has you covered. They offer a card called the Discover.at Secured Credit Card. This card is designed for people with credit scores between 300 and 600, or in other words, not good. In order to open a card, you have to put at least $200 down. This card essentially acts like a hybrid between a debit card and a credit card. However much you have down is how much credit they give you. You still get the cashback rewards like other full-fledged credit cards. You'll still get the 2% back on gas stations and restaurants with the same limits as the Discover.at Student Chrome card we talked about earlier. This card's goal is to help you build your credit and get you a non-secured card. Discover offers automatic reviews after 7 months to see if you've proven your creditworthiness. Everyone has to start somewhere, and if your credit is really poor, that's okay. You've just got to start building it, and this is a great place to start. The next card isn't exclusively for students, but I think it's really good for younger people, and that's the Apple Card. Although the cash back on the Apple Card isn't crazy amazing, for perspective you'll get a standard 1% unless you use Apple Pay and then you get 3%, and there's no sign-on or referral bonuses, plus you need a pretty solid credit score to use it, The value in this card comes from how easy it is to monitor your spending, and when you monitor your spending, you usually spend less. Within seconds of buying something, it shows up in your digital wallet, and I find myself more willing to look at my spending there because it's so much easier to use. Apple is really good at making things work seamlessly, so if you want something that's easy to set and forget, this card is a great option. On top of those more practical perks, the Apple Card is also made out of titanium, and thus when you hand it to someone or put it down on a table, it has the presence of a much more premium or prestigious card. A lot of people don't care about this, but it's kind of a cool party trick that you might like. So this card is for the people who want a seamless experience and want a little bit more flair to it too. Before you guys head out, I have a bonus card for you that I think is a great deal for pretty much everyone, both now as you are a student and as you get into your career. This card is the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. This little blue card is an iconic staple of credit card enthusiasts everywhere. It has some really awesome rewards. Here are some of them. You'll get 6.5% back on travel, 4.5% back on drugstore and restaurant purchases, and 3% on everything else for your first $20,000 you spend each year. The cashback does drop down after that, but I'm assuming most kids in college are not dropping more than $20,000 a year on their credit card. On top of these great rates, you'll get 0% interest for the first 15 months, and as of posting, if you spend $500 in the first 3 months, they'll give you an additional $200 back. So if you are really wanting to maximize the free money you can get, this is a great option for you. These 6 cards will help maximize every dollar you spend. If you want to get free money for the purchases you were already going to make, using the best credit cards for your situation can really help. I know how much a couple extra $100 can make in the life of a college student, so I hope these cards help you guys out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to learn more about the world of business, entrepreneurship, and personal finance, be sure to subscribe. I post 2 full-length videos a week, and I'm really trying to make good content that will help you guys get ahead in your life. You guys are awesome. I'll see you next time.